All right, let's get started. Okay, a very good morning to students who are from both the campuses at Glen Mary and also from Penang as well, from both sides, I suppose, yeah, Batu Kawan and Penang side. Now, of course, if you have your friends who would like to come in, just invite them to come in as and when they're possible. This will take us about an hour or an hour and a half to complete the whole briefing. To every one of you, that is something very crucial and very beneficial for you to get to know all these arrangements to have a better planning for your study pathway, especially what is the next step after completing the degree with us in UOW Malaysia KDU. Allow me to introduce myself as the starting off for this presentation. Okay. As you can see from the screens, my name is Chan, Chan Zikang. You can just call me Mr. Chan. I'm the head and also the lecturers for the Professional Accountancy Center for the ACCA programs that is at the Glen Mary campus at UOW Malaysia KDU. The main agenda of the briefing today for every one of you who is listening is about the something called ACCA Accelerate Scheme. Before I move on, I would like to ask everyone in the chat box again. You can respond in the Google Meet room again. Any one of you who have not heard of, something called the ACCA Accelerate Scheme, can you put an N in the chat box? N. No, haven't heard of. The ones who have heard of before, don't respond. The one who haven't heard of, put an N in the chat box. Anyone? I suppose that most of you who are here should have heard of these things called ACCA Accelerate Scheme. But I just want to ask, okay, anyone who have not heard of this, what is that? Can you put an N sign in the chat box? Anyone? Don't be shy, okay? If you don't know, I will tell you a bit more detail. But if you know, I will expect some of the informations you already know, I will just bring you through quickly. So last round of the check. Any one of you have not heard of ACCA Accelerate Scheme, put an N in the chat box. Anyone? Okay, very good. So it seems that all the program leaders in all the campuses have given you a briefing already on ACCA Accelerate Scheme. That is very, very good. Okay, so allow me to bring you into the Accelerate Scheme in more detail over here. First and foremost, the degree program, the bachelor degree program from our university in UOW Malaysia KDU, who are under these ACCA Accelerate schemes, they are of these three bachelor degree. Everyone who is watching now, you must be taking one of these three degree program, either in the Glen Mary campus in Selangor or in Penang campus. Okay, now along the presentation, if you have any questions you want to ask me, you either can leave your questions in the chat box. I will come back to the chat box by the end of the session and answer you. Okay, I will not be able to monitor the chat box now because I only can see my slides during the presentation. But if you have any questions you want to ask me in between, you can turn on your mic and interrupt me and say, sorry, Mr. Chan, I have questions. I will stop there and you can ask your questions. Do you understand? So this is a rule for you to have a better experience in attending these sessions for this morning. Okay, so I suppose that everyone must be the students who are taking one of these three bachelor's degree who are under the ACCA Accelerate Scheme. In order for you to better, not only to understand, but better appreciate, why is it a must for every one of you who is listening to take a step further, even though you are going to complete your degree and you will be a uni grad soon, obviously. Why is it a need for you to attend this session to put yourself a step further by taking on another qualification, which is the professional qualification, namely the ACCA? Why do you want to jump out from one I won't use the kind of a very negative words. Why do you want to jump out from one pond of water and jump into another pond of water? What is the value created for you? And what is the key driver that push you to take on the next step of the challenges? I suppose may not be 100% of you, but it would take a large percentage among every one of us who are listening now to have a dream to become a chartered accountant. When I say chartered accountant, it doesn't mean, oh, you must be an accountant of a company, not necessary. I'm saying that you should have a dream of carrying this title after your name, which you can see my title in the email that's sent to everyone already. I'm carrying this title. I'm sure every one of you should have this dream of carrying this title after your name. So and so, Chartered Accountant, bracket Malaysia. Okay, so this is the title that will put yourself in the positions to tell anyone in Malaysia you are a qualified accountant in Malaysia. You are a member of this body, a statutory body from Malaysia government called Malaysian Institute of Accountant. In short, we call MIA. Only when you hold this membership title, CA bracket Malaysia, not only you can claim yourself to be a qualified accountant in Malaysia, you can take off any kind of role like accountant, real accountant of a company, especially listed company. Do you know that it is a compulsory requirement under the law or the Companies Act? Any accountant in the listed company in Malaysia must be holding this title. And of course, apart from being an accountant, there are also many other kind of opportunity you are looking into apart from auditor, tax consultant. These are the typical and the traditional role. There are many other roles that you being a chartered accountant in Malaysia can take on. Advisor to the business, or we call business consultant. Performance management experts, helping the organizations to restructure the business process, helping the businesses to improve the operation. If those of you who are very keen of running your own businesses in the future, I tell you, excellent, okay? Because when you are the chartered accountant in Malaysia, now, of course, I don't mean that you can do the bookkeeping yourself. Come, these small matters of money, just let other people to earn it for you. But at least you understand how to manage your money in your firm. Now, that is what an accountant should be. Okay, don't think that, oh, become a chartered accountant, you must do all the bookkeeping entry. No, not like that. Okay, what you really treasure to hold this title is the knowledge and the skill you gain in the whole journey of the study, right from the degree right now all the way to professional study. The skills, the knowledge that you earn along this journey of the study will equip you with all the competency of managing and running a business. You always realize that a lot of entrepreneurs, they have a dream of running a small business by themselves. I'm sure that some of you also have a dream to become your own tauke, right? But if you notice that a lot of us, say for example, I like to make coffee. I like to brew coffee. So I want to become a barista. Okay, no problem. Then after a few years, you can start running your own coffee shop. You can brew a very nice cup of coffee. There's no doubt. But guys, have you think of one question? You can make a nice cup of coffee, yes, all by yourself. How many cups of coffee can you make in a day? How much money you can generate from that business if it's all run by yourself? And do you want to just keep your size just like that one-man show throughout the rest of your career? Surely not, right? I'm quite sure every one of us, the moment you have the skills, you want your skills to pass it on to your worker so that there's a multiplier effect of expanding a business operation. The moment you start to expand the business, there's a lot of challenges that you have to deal with. Not only how to make a nice cup of coffee, how do you manage money? Where's the money coming from? Mr. Chan, just take a bank loan will do. Do you think it's that simple? Is there no condition for the bank to tell you, you want to take my money? Can, but please fulfill A, B, C, D, E. How do you make sure when you run your business as a coffee shop, you are able to meet all these criteria and it doesn't end up into borrow money from loan shark? A lot of business owners, they have passion of doing something. making a nice cup of coffee, frying a very nice plate of char kway teow. But the main challenge is that they may not be able to grow, and then they may not be able to make the business sustain for long. So what does it mean to you? When you want to make the business to grow and sustain, it is no more the passion in making a nice cup of coffee anymore. It is no more about the experience of making a plate of char kway teow. It is one word: management. You need a right people to help you to manage your businesses. Do you agree with me? Your businesses will not last for long. Your businesses will not be able to compete, especially during this kind of pandemic period. It will not be able to last long unless the business is supported by a team of people, especially if the owner themselves has a strong management skills. Do you agree with me? Management skill, it's of everything. Mr. Chan, I want to learn some management skill. Where do we go for? A lot of us say, let's go for bachelor's degree in businesses, admin. Yeah, of course you can. But don't forget one thing, guys. Tell me, is there a possibility that you involve in the management role without touching on money? Impossible. You want to manage everything. You are actually managing resources. Do you realize that? And resources doesn't come free. Every resources cost money, dollar sign. So the secret behind management, it's all about managing this one, dollar. Tell me who is the best at managing this dollar and cents. Who is the most sensitive on this? I don't mean to be calculative, but I say who is the best in monitoring this? Who else? The one who holds this title, chartered accountant. Perhaps all this kind of sharing with you is enlightening, opening your mind. Don't think that, oh, I must become an auditor to apply this, otherwise no point. Who says so? I really hope if I go to Penang one day, I can see some of you who own a char kway teow shop, a really proper run char kway teow shop. Mr. Chan, remember me or not? I was one of the students who attended your briefing a couple of years ago, and now I'm a chartered accountant. What are you doing? You're owning a char kway teow shop, but you are a member of MIA. How fantastic is this combination? Think about that. That is the kind of chemical reaction that we want to drill young accountants like you to be. Don't lock yourself into you must only work in the offices. Who says so? Like me, I'm a chartered accountant. I like talking. I like sharing knowledge with people. So I end up into education line. Who say I cannot be somebody else? But I must be in an office looking at all the number. No, I don't do that. I manage knowledge. I manage people. That is what we do in accounting. In order for you to hold this title, as I mentioned just now, you must be a member of MIA, and this is protected and governed under Accountants Act. Okay, so don't simply put this title at the back of a name. Even though you hold a bachelor degree from UW Malaysia KDU, you only can put so and so, and then you can put BA. That's it. That's Bachelors of Accounting. But you cannot put CA because this is protected by the law and the Act. In order for you to get this CA title from MIA, you can see on the screen here, especially on the lower end, there are two boxes. Now, let me just give you a bit of ideas on the first box, what this is all about here. At the moment, the first category of the candidates can apply a membership from MIA to earn this title CA. Who are these students coming from? These are the students who are the degree holder. They are the graduates from the bachelor's degree of accounting from the recognized university in Malaysia. And who are these recognized universities? I can say they are 99.9% public university. We call UPU. UM, UPM, UKM, UUM, USM, whatever you name it. As long as you hold a bachelor's degree in accounting from these public university, you are the degree holder, and then you come up and start working in the related field for 3 years and record down all your experiences. submit these two evidences to MIA after your 3 years of work. After approving from MIA, they will award you a CA title. You will become a chartered accountant by holding an academic qualification. But these academic qualifications must come from recognized university. So do we? UW Malaysia's KDU's degree is part of this? No, we are not. Many private universities are not under this pipeline. Remember, this is mainly from the public university, as I mentioned just now. Okay. However, all these members of MIA, they are getting through a route that we call academic route. By holding a bachelor's degree, you are going through this MIA channel for the membership by the academic route. But what we're trying to promote and let everyone know today, it's the one in the red box underneath. And trust me, guys, the number of population on the young graduates who are pursuing to this membership is getting more via the second route. What is that? You must be a member of the following professional accountancy body. Listen carefully. You must be a member. You are not only a graduate. You must be the member of the following professional body. Only when you become the member of that body, you can anytime apply for the CA title from MIA. Who are these professional body? Take a look. I'm sure if you look at the left-hand side screens, you should have aware and recognize quite a number of these body already. And of course, looking at a few of the logo, this logo doesn't look new to you, I suppose, right? Especially in UW Malaysia KDU, our bachelor's degrees got accredited from MICPA, ACCA, CIMA, and CPA Australia. So these proving once again the quality of educations for the bachelor's degree that every one of you are going through right now. And back to the point, you must be a member of any of this professional body, at least one. Okay, today what we are telling everyone, it's a route called Accelerate routes to go into these professional accountancy body to become their student at the first stage. Then later on become their graduate, which they call affiliate, finally become the member. Only when you are the member of all of these, any of the body, including ACCA, then you can apply to the CA title from MIA at your convenience. And of course, if you ask, Mr. Chan, how do I become a member of all these body? I'm telling you this, all these professional body, you want to become a member, there's only one way. That is to take the exam in whatever remaining subjects that you need to do, pass all the exam, okay? It's only exam, no assignment, no project, no group presentation. Of course, some of these qualifications, on top of exam, they have something called assessment. Like for example, MICPA, you have to take exam and then there will be a group assessment for presentation. They call workshop. But for ACCA and many other professional courses, it is only and 100% exam based, remember. No need to have project work, no need to have group assignment whatsoever. It's only exam based. The rule of the game is very simple. You have a bullet in your gun, you shoot the bullseye, you pass the exam, there you go. That's the rule of the game. Okay, so what we're trying to highlight here is how do you get into the member of ACCA? As I said just now, to become a member, you must become a student of ACCA and the rest of it, and then take the exam that you are required to. So how do you start on your first step as the ACCA student? So this is the qualification that we would like to share with you in this session. Here we go. Why ACCA? There's so many professional body. Why ACCA? Well, obviously, everyone should have heard of these names many times already, okay? If you have an access to the website of the ACCA, I'm sure some of you may already know what is the website address of ACCA. So if I will just share this with you, okay, those of you who didn't know about the website of ACCA, you can just take down. It's www.accaglobal.com. Go into this website, get yourself to play around all the information in this website. That will give you a better understanding who is ACCA, why ACCA. So this is the professional body that we're talking about. By the way, if I just ask you a very simple question, do you know what is ACCA stands for? Don't feel surprised. Some of you don't even know what is the full name of the ACCA. Yeah? Wow, as you can see, the full name is actually stated in the front of the screen. The Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, the ACCA, which is a UK-based professional body. Okay? All right. As I mentioned just now, in order to be a member of ACCA, now when I say member, Mr. Chan, what do you mean by member? At the back of the name, if you see any title called ACCA, okay, that means this person is the member of ACCA. Now, but if you see after my name, I don't put ACCA, I put FCCA. What's the meaning of that? Imagine, once you become a member of ACCA, as I say, you can put after your name ACCA, right? After 5 years. After 5 years, of course, we work here. After 5 years, the ACCA will promote you to become a fellow member. From then onwards, you can upgrade your designation from ACCA to FCCA after 5 years. It's not immediate, remember. Okay, so that is the progression route of a member. Well, in order for you to get the member, ACCA member, what do you have to do? First of all, as I mentioned, pass all the ACCA exams that you are required to sit for. Secondly, complete. It is not a subject, but we call this as an online module that every ACCA student must attend on this online module. There's no classes, but there are fees that you must pay directly to ACCA to access to the video, to access to the content of the slide, read up and watch the video, then respond by typing in your questions and your answer on anything about personal ethic, business ethic, and the demonstration of some professional skills. You want to know more about this, you can find the answer from the ACCA website, which is shown to everyone just now. You must again attend by watching the video on this module, answering the questions in this module. Mr. Chan, how long should I take? The official recommendation from ACCA UK suggests that students will take at least 20 hours to watch, to read, and to attempt the questions. But of course, having said so, this 20 hours is not marathon, it's not one shot, you're going to die, man, obviously, right? You can split your 20 hours of work as and when you like. As long as you are still within the ACCA journey, at any time, you can do this. Mr. Chan, can I do this after I pass all the exam? Can. But it is highly recommended you do this when you are at the last stage of your ACCA study, which I will highlight to you in a short while. Anyway, that will be the second element you must complete. We call EPSM from now, okay? Complete EPSM. The third requirement to become a member, when you pass all the ACCA exam, when you complete the EPSM, time to work, okay? Now, by the way, your internship period, not counted one. Because whatever that you've gone through in the internship period is not properly recorded. So, and then also the nature of the work in the internship may not be fulfilling the requirement over here. Because the 36 months of this work experience, now of course, you will say, Mr. Chan, must it be a full-time? Can I work as a part-time? Yes, you can. But in this session, I don't want to go too detailed about this so-called working experience for the 36 months. Because when you start working, and especially when you are joining to our ACCA courses already, become a student of us in UW Malaysia KDU. Every year, we will conduct a briefing sessions to everyone, talking about this working experience. In short, we call PER. It stands for Practical Experience Requirement. Okay, so you will attend that session of briefings. It will be conducted by either myself or my colleague or the representative from ACCA Malaysia to give the briefing to everyone. How do you fulfill this 36 months of the work experience called the PER? But generally speaking, every one of you need to work for 3 years, just put it in simple, in the relevant and the related working field. And then during your work, you go to record down what you have done. Of course, not up to a very detailed, like, oh, every day what you have done, no need. But it's a very clear and precise prescription. What have you learned? What are the skills that you have picked it up and applied in your work for the 3 years? When everything is recorded and verified by your employer, you submit online to ACCA UK for verification. Once they approve your work experience, then the ACCA will officially send you a certificate from UK. It is to certify so-and-so being the member of the association. So only when you receive that cert, you can then claim yourself to be ACCA member. When you become the member, you can apply to MIA membership at your convenience. Do you understand? So this is the second stage of the journey every one of you who is watching now will need to go through. If you stop a bachelor degree, no matter how many years you work, whether you call yourself as accountant in the company, no point. Because you cannot submit your work experience with your degree from UOW Malaysia to get the membership from MIA. Cannot double it. You must do another steps by going into this kind of professional study like ACCA. Do you understand? Now, I'm not sure any one of you who are aware of, okay, so Mr. Chan, when I go into the ACCA courses, what do we have to learn? Maybe not many one of us know all the subject in the ACCA. On this screen, you can see these are the listing of the subjects in ACCA courses. There are 2 stages of the subjects here. The first stage are called fundamental levels. In these levels, there are 9 subjects, which split into the 3 subjects on the first stage called applied knowledge, and the second stage 6 subjects that we call applied skills. Well, you can see the name over here. These names looks very similar to the subject you're doing in your degree currently, am I right? As a result, any one of you who are holding any of the 3 bachelor degree that I showed you just now, all the bachelors in accounting and finances, bachelors of accountancy from both the campuses in UOW Malaysia KDU, because all your programs are under Accelerate Scheme, meaning to say, as an Accelerate Scheme awarded degree program, you were allowed to have 9 exemptions from the ACCA. You can skip this 9 subjects. In other words, no need to take the exam. Wonderful, yeah? The only subject you have to sit for are the last 4 papers in the strategic professional level. Of that, the first 2 papers are compulsory, which you can see the name over here. Okay, and then you have to choose any of the 2 from this 4. This is the last stage of the game, and you're going to win the game by passing the exam in order to get the ACCA graduate status. For your information, I am a lecturer for the ACCA subject. My specialization is in these 2 subjects, AFM, APM. Anyway, these are the 4 subjects that every one of you will have to take on and pass the exam once you complete your degree. Without forgetting, upon completing these 4, remember the online module I mentioned just now, EPSM at the bottom left. This is another one you have to complete. So it's 4 plus 1. Okay, when will you do this online module? Our suggestion is when you are doing your SPL. Mr. Chan, is there any sequence I must follow? The answer is no. Meaning to say, students can choose to start taking SPR if they like, or they can start taking SPL if they like, or they can start doing the option if they like. But our advice for you who are coming from the bachelor's degree background, the first paper that you should consider taking up, my suggestion for you is either one of this. don't touch on this until you pass this too. Okay? Because there is a accumulation and there is a flow through knowledge that you need from here in order for you to do well on here. Anyway, Mr. Chan, give us a bit of briefing about what is this two subject about. Well, the first subject in the list of ACCA is called SBL, Strategic Business Leader. This subject is comprising of ethics. Have you learned? Should be, right? Governance, something like you learn in corporate governance subjects, and strategy. Strategy is some things that you learn in all the models for competition, for growth, whatsoever. So this is a subject that integrates all the knowledges that you learn in your degree or you learn in this subject and they integrate to become one case study. Meaning to say, in this paper, SBL, the exam is 4 hours and there's only one case study. That means there's only one question. One story about a company background or about a public sector background, and then they will give you a lot of short questions to answer. So that is the questions on SBL. Okay. The other paper is SBR, Strategic Business Reporting. This is the highest level of the corporate reporting paper, or you can call the advanced level of the financial accounting papers. Okay. Obviously, this paper SBR is a lot more technical comparing to SBL. Now, for those of you who are keen, Mr. Chan, I already plan to go into the ACCA study after my degree. Would you be able to give us some advice? Which one should I start with, SBL or SBR? Remember, guys, you can choose to start from either one, but I will give you the two scenarios. If you falls under the first scenario, you can go for SBL first, then only SBR. But if you belong to the second scenario, you would choose to consider starting from SBR, then only you go for L. So I give you two scenarios. You decide which category of scenario you fall into. You will then consider the recommendation I will give you. Scenario 1. If you are the students who aim to be, Mr. Chan, when I get into ACCA courses, I want to try passing one of the subjects first to boost my confidence level so that I get the feel how the ACCA exam looks like in order for me to prepare the last 3 remaining papers. If you want to aim looking for a subject that has a relatively higher chance of passing before you move on to the rest, my suggestions for you is to start with SBL. Reason being, in this case study paper, what that is very much required are mostly learned in your degree, especially in the subject like strategy related papers, corporate governance papers, ethics papers. But having said so, it doesn't mean you don't need to attend the classes, because there's still a lot of new things you have not learned yet, particularly adapting yourself from academic style of assessment to a professional way of assessment. So you still have to attend the classes, but a lot of these fundamental knowledge are from your degree. So when you go into these classes of SBL, it doesn't feel new to you. Yeah, we have seen this before. We have touched on this last time. So it somehow rather will boost your momentum and your confidence level. And of course, when everything is doing well, following the guidance given by the lecturer, your chances of getting through the SBL should be quite high. Particularly if you are from degree background and your strength is about debating, your strength is about researching, your strength is about critical thinking. These are all the skills that is very badly needed in SBL. Understand? So if you have this expectation in your mind, you will choose SBL as the first subject first. Now, second category, Mr. Chan, my fundamentals in my degree last time, I was very strong on my financial reporting subject. Financial reporting subject is FA, financial accounting. You have FA1, FA2, FA3, right, in a degree? Yes. If you would like to take advantage of your strong knowledge in your financial accounting, the moment you complete your degree, while your knowledge on financial accounting is still warm, you just want to give a push to yourself to go into SBR. Connect very closely, a seamless connection, by carrying forward and leveraging on your strong fundamental knowledge on the financial accounting to prepare you for the SBR. But listen carefully, guys. I must warn you this. No matter how good you score in your bachelor's degree program on your accounting subject, okay, the level of this coverage in your accounting subject and degree, comparing to the syllabus in this subject called financial reporting. You look at my hand. I'm sure you can see my screen. You can see my head, yeah? This is where you are in your bachelor's degree. Everything you learn in your financial accounting. FR, the coverage is like this. The syllabus of FR is like this. What does it mean? Whatever you learn in bachelor's degree, you have not covered 100% on FR. You cover most of it already, not 100%. And you know what? You come to SBR. A big chunk of the fundamental knowledge required in SBR are from here. A big chunk. Where it also includes the part that you may not have learned in your degree. So what does it mean? Students who prefer to choose to go for SBR as the first paper, you need to do some extra work. What is extra work? You go to the ACCA website, you go and take a look at what is covered in FR. Whatever items FR is covering but you didn't learn in your degree, please go and do some Google search or go to the library of the Glamoury or Penang campus, get the ACCA reference book, read up yourself. Because when you come to SBR class, your tutor, your lecturers will say, hey guys, I expect you to learn this and this and this from FR. You need to carry this knowledge with you to SBR. And that's why I say, in order for you to do well in SBR, every one of you need to do some back-end work to buckle up, to strengthen your knowledge on financial reporting. Hey guys, that takes time, right? That's why I say, if you think carefully, my first suggestion is more practical for all of you. Meaning to say, start doing your SBL. While you are learning for your SBL, come on, you only do one subject, right? It should be a bit of free time. That is the time for you to start sparing some time to do some back-end work, to read up on FR. Some of the students say, Mr. Chan, can I enroll for the classes of FR? Just attend, but no need to take exam. Excellent. That is a fantastic move if you wish to have. Just attend the class, but no need to go for exam. Fantastic. But if you want to do it by yourself, by all means, go ahead. So while you are doing and preparing your SBL, you spend some time to read up on FR. So when you come to the next cycle, next semester, you should be well prepared to go for SBR classes already. That kind of process should be much more safer, much more comfortable to you in progress in a more rational manner. Okay, I don't have to say much about options level. It all depends on your interest of the field, of the specialization. Choose any of the two, because back in UW Malaysia KDU, we have all the 4 courses for you to choose. Okay, so this is the content of the subject and how do you go about to choose the sequence of it. Now, as far as all of you are concerned who are from these 3 degree background, as I mentioned, this is what being an Accelerate Scheme students like you would have. First, you got exemption on the first 9 papers, as I mentioned just now. Then you need to do the last 4 strategic professional papers, remember I said? And lastly, complete the online module on EPSM. So this is what you entitled under the Accelerate Scheme. Okay, if those of you who would like to confirm, Mr. Chan, it is only from your statement. How do we know that our bachelor's degree from UW Malaysia KDU granted us 9 exemption? You want to find this out yourself? No problem. You go into the ACCA website, as I've shown to you just now. You go under the search, you can type in exemption calculator. So you will come to this screen. You just select and put in the relevant information and search for the outcome for the exemption. This is the one that the screenshot shows you over here. Okay, so you can go from this web page and confirm you got an exemption. But anyway, in UW Malaysia's KDU, we already got all the black and white from ACCA UK for these exemptions. But in case if you have any friend who come from other university and asking you, you also can become an ambassador of ACCA, showing your friend, hey, this is the place for you to check the exemption, the ACCA courses offered to them. Okay, let's go on to the next. That is something more relevant to each and every one of you under the Accelerate scheme. Keep an eye on this, guys. The ACCA Accelerate scheme is a special arrangement between the ACCA UK and a particular institution. Of course, us is the institutions we're talking about. It is the special arrangements between the institution and the professional body that allow you to take an early entry point. Early. What do you mean by that? Other students who are undergoing the bachelor's courses in other universities where their bachelor courses, their bachelor degree are not under this scheme, what do they get? Firstly, these students must complete the whole degree with the transcript. Then only they can apply to start studying the ACCA, of course with the exemption as well. The second thing is that the non-accelerate route students, even they get recruited into ACCA, there are quite a bit of fees to pay, which I will show you in the next slides, how much these students are paying, comparing to you, as students who are coming from Accelerate scheme. You were entitled to start learning or even taking the ACCA exam. See this word in red color, before you graduate from a degree. That is what we call Accelerate. It is a fast track. You can start your journey of taking your ACCA before you graduate. If you can see my hand, it goes like this, yeah? That's a degree. In most of the non-accelerate scheme degree, students can only do like this. They can only join into ACCA after they complete. But for you, Accelerate scheme student, when you are doing a degree, you can start your ACCA journey instead of like this. You can start like this. You see my hand or not? You start like this. So you take an early start. But Mr. Chan, is it a must for you who are under UW Malaysia KDU students under bachelor's degree to take an early start? Some of you may say, Mr. Chan, I prefer to come slow and steady. I want to do my ACCA after I complete. No problem. No problem. Remember, this early start is a right. It is an option for you. It is not an obligation. Option means that you have the right. You want to exercise the right to have an early start, go ahead. You don't want? No problem. But there are certain things you must do before you graduate. Otherwise, you will lose, we call the benefits. That exclusively for Accelerate scheme only. Okay, so in a nutshell, Accelerate scheme simply means a degree program that allow the students who are doing the degree to start doing the ACCA before they even graduate. That's called Accelerate scheme. So next time, if your parents, your friend asks you, what's so different about your program in UW Malaysia KDU? Oh, our program is under Accelerate scheme, which allow us to take an early start to do the professional courses. Not like other university that they can only do it after they graduate, but you can do it before you graduate. Now, these are the benefits, which I think it will really draw your attention now. Okay, first and foremost, you are under this scheme. When you want to register, become the ACCA student, there are certain fees that you must pay to ACCA. The first fee is called initial registration fee. The normal rate of the fee, which will increase year by year, at this moment is about £89. Any student who would like to first enroll become ACCA student, the first time fee is about £89. How much are you paying? Look at the screen. £20. Let's multiply by 6. Of course, not necessarily up to 6 if you look at the exchange rate. 6 ringgit to a pound times 20 is 120 ringgit only. But of course, if you pay by credit card, it will be definitely less than 120 ringgit. Okay, so that's the first benefit. You already got some saving. The second saving is every ACCA student, in order to hold your title of an ACCA student and to go for the exam, every year there is a subscription fee you have to pay. Okay, and you know what? Usually students have to start paying the subscription the moment they become ACCA student. Say for example, you enroll yourself as the ACCA student in the final year of the degree, which is year 3. You are supposed to pay the annual subscription for the first year that is in your 3rd year of the degree, right? Take a look at the deal. Accelerate Scheme students were entitled a waiver on this subscription fee until you complete your degree. In other words, there's no extra cost for you to have an early joining into ACCA. So if you ask us, Mr. Chan, how early can I join? Our suggestion is that don't join too early, even though you can join as early as when you are doing your year 2 in your bachelor degree, but don't join too early. The golden time for you to join the ACCA, join means that you need to initial register yourself to become ACCA student. From now on, I call IR. Listen carefully, IR, initial register, okay? The arrangement, the support that we provide to the students in Glenmary campus all this while, we advise the students to do the IR in the first sem of year 3. So now all the students from Glenmary campus and Penang campus, listen carefully, if you are keen to go for the scheme, you should take on the initiative to do the initial registration with ACCA when you are at the beginning of first semester of year 3. Golden chance for you to go in there. So a year before you complete the degree, you already become the ACCA student. Reason being, the final year of a degree will allow you to have a chance to take a subject in ACCA, like SPL. Some of the topic in SPL is kind of similar to the subject you do in your final year degree. Take for example, strategic management. Take for example, corporate governance. You have learned this, you will be learning this module probably in your final year. And these are the things that also needed in SPL. So in a way, you are like attending the same classes for the knowledge that apply in 2 exams. But having said so, it doesn't mean there is no need for you to take the classes for SPL. You must take the classes for SPL because you need to divert, you need to streamline and adjust your knowledge catering for SPL exam. But then there are certain knowledge is like, okay, you heard this in your degree classes. You also should have heard of this in the professional classes. That will give you a better understanding on the subject matter that apply for academic and professional courses. Okay, apart from this, the status of getting the 9 exemption, remember as we say, according to ACCA UK, they will officially confirm to give you and grant you the 9 exemption only when you successfully complete your bachelor's degree. So this means when you are doing your first sem in year 3, when you go into ACCA Accelerate Scheme, the ACCA technically will give you a temporary exemption, which they call conditional exemption for the 9 subject. So that while you're doing your year 3, you can still pursue to do your strategic professional paper. You will officially be granted for this 9 exemption when you successfully complete your bachelor degree. In a way, you think carefully, guys, this is just more of the documentary procedure that the ACCA had to comply with. Don't tell me If you are keen to go into ACCA, you do not keen to complete your degree, I don't think so, right? I think every one of you who is listening will be keen and committed to complete your degree. As long as you attend a class, you take part in the assignment, the group work, assessment, and the final exam, I think to pass shouldn't be too much a problem, honestly speaking. With all these benefits or discounted fee, etc. Okay. Last but not least benefit for Accelerate Scheme students is, do you know that every subject that you got exempted from ACCA, there is an exemption fee you have to pay. And the exemption fees per paper is equal to the examination fee. Do you know how much an exam fees per subject is about for the first 9 subjects? I can give you a rough idea, a ballpark. It's about £89 per subject. Okay, you multiply. £89 is on the skill level, obviously. For the knowledge level, for the first 3 papers, it's slightly cheaper. Okay, let's do the higher end rough calculation. Let's take £90 per subject for the exam, times 6. £90 times 6, 540 ringgit, times 9. That's about 5,000 plus, right, of the ringgit for the exemption fee for the students who are not under the Accelerate scheme to be paid. But for you who are under Accelerate scheme, take a look. Every subject you only pay £25 of exemption fee times 9. That's the total of £225 times 6 ringgit. That's about what, 1,000 plus? Comparing to what I said just now, 5,000 over. You have a saving of 5,000 ringgit. And don't forget, there's also a saving on your initial registration fee. So the benefit for Accelerate students is up to about 6,000 over ringgit saving for the fees that you pay to ACCA. Guys, that hasn't counted the saving you will be getting if you chose to continue your ACCA study with us in UOW Malaysia KDU, which I will talk to it in a short while. Anyway, these are the benefits and the fees applied to you who are under Accelerate scheme. And the last related benefit to this exemption fee, Mr. Chan, I have to pay £225. That is 1,000 over ringgit. It's still money I need to pay. Yeah, you're right. But you know what? There's another benefit you are getting as a Accelerate student. You are allowed to pay this exemption fee later. How late? Huh? You see that? 1 year after your graduation. Oh, that is the time you already start work. Don't tell me you can't afford to pay for the 1,000 over ringgit all by yourself instead of your parents pay for you. So these are the benefits that you see on this page. Is only exclusively applied for Accelerate scheme students, which is for all of you. Whether you are in Glenmarie or Penang campus, all of you are getting these benefits. Do you understand? Okay, so this is how it goes. And if I catch your attention already and say, yeah, Mr. Chan, I think I decided to go for the Accelerate scheme. Great. I'm going to share with you now what you have to do if you want to go into the scheme. Number 1, if you are now in your Sem 1 of Year 3, go and look for your program leader or the academic department head of the school, asking the program leader or the head to issue you an Accelerate letter. Okay, I will show you in a short while how to get this Accelerate letter. First, go to your program leader and academic head, asking for this, sir or miss, I would like to get this ACCA Accelerate eligibility letter. When you have this letter already, it's a hard copy letter. Okay, of course, now during the pandemic, probably the head will scan and email the letter to you. Okay, then you email this letter to us at this address. You want to take the snapshot on this screen, take down this website address or this email address, pac@uowmkdu.edu.my. Scan this letter, email to us, and say, dear sir or madam, I would like to get your assistance, get our assistant to help you to initial register into ACCA. So once we receive your email, we will have colleagues to respond to you by showing you the steps. So please, step 1, go to the ACCA website. How do you do initial registration all by yourself? It is DIY, all by yourself. But we will show you a step-by-step guide. But that is provided you write an email to us attached with your Accelerate eligibility letter given by your program leader. Attach this, send to us. We will respond to you. But in your email, please write down which campus and which degree you are from. Okay, dear sir or madam, I'm the students from the Glen Mary campus or Penang campus who are doing Bachelor's of Accounting or Bachelor's of Accounting and Finance. Please find the attached eligibility letter for getting guidance from us for initial registration. That will help you. If you would like to contact us in a quicker way, take down this WhatsApp number. You can WhatsApp us already. After this session, if you have anything you want to talk to us, WhatsApp to us on this number. Okay, so you must have taken out these contact details already. Now, this is the sample for you to take a look. When you go and ask from the program leader or the academic head of the school, they will offer you this empty piece of letter with this name stated down there. Currently, at this moment, it is still KDU UC. Okay, we are in the midst of changing the name to UOW Malaysia KDU, remember. But anyway, this is still the name, and your course name is here. And then you will see all these details are here. So what you have to do, write your name, right? Your name, okay? And this is obviously the name that is given by your program leader. You don't write, your program leader will write for you, okay? Because this letter is issued by whoever that is responsible to hold this letter and give it to the students upon their request. So the program leader or the academic head will write your name down and you can see whatever content here. Okay, then at the end, your program leader or the head of department will sign with the job titles here. So they will give you this letter. When you have this letter, remember what I said just now? Scan and email to us at pac@uowmkdu.edu.my to wait for our step-by-step guide telling you how to do initial registration with the ACCA. Okay, and when you registered initially, you get ready your credit cards, and you have to pay the initial registrations of £20, provided you follow our step-by-step guide for the students who are under Accelerate scheme. Okay, so this copy of the letter is just for the example of Bachelor in Accounting and Finance. I have another letter for you to see as a sample for Bachelor of Accounting. Okay, so this title must match with the degree that you're currently doing with us in UOW Malaysia KDU. Okay, so that is a sample. Keep an eye, take a snapshot. If you don't know what to ask to the program leader, show your program leader this copy. They will know what to do for you. Okay, so that is a starting point for you to embark to register yourself, become the ACCA student. Once you become the ACCA students, you will now under our care with something called Professional Accountancy Center. It is one of the schools under UOW Malaysia KDU. And what is so special about us? We in UOW Malaysia KDU are already been awarded by ACCA UK to be one of the very few platinum learning provider. To be the platinum, which is the highest ranking of this learning provider, one of the very stringent requirement is our pass rate in every sitting has to be at least the same or higher than the global pass rate. Then only we can be granted a platinum status of learning provider. So as such, these are the key features that we carry as the PAC. And to remind you, we are not only offering the tuitions for the students with us in our own university graduate like you, we also offer the tuition providers to students from all other university in Malaysia and also from abroad. We even have students who study with us who is coming back from UK, who is coming from Australia, New Zealand, or even from China, etc. And more importantly, we are also one of the few learning provider for the government sponsored body called Yayasan Peneraju. So all these evidences have shown you we are having a team of a great support, not only in terms of frontline lecturer, but also the back-end support team for the students to ensure they have a great learning experiences with us in order for us and you to uphold the platinum status for 9 consecutive years in the past. Okay? And what more is special in the ACCA program that we have offered by PAC? On top of all the learning classes for preparing the exam, we do add on a lot of the value-added series of activities such as career development program, or we can call a guest lecture. These are the 2 classes that we will organize for all the students in PAC who attend 2 guest lectures per 6 months. And what is the content of this lecture about? These content of the lecture are contemporary topics that is pertaining to accounting, auditing, taxation. And who is the lecturer? The lecturers are the industry practitioners. They are mainly, especially at the partner level or senior manager level from the big 5 or the medium firm in public practice. So these are all the value-added courses for you to attend. Okay, the photo you see here are the so-called the CDP that we use to conduct pre-COVID. So don't go and launch a complaint. Sir, there's no SOP. Come on, this is pre-COVID. Okay, so this is what we have, and the firms that you see here are some of the participating firms who sent the speaker to us. On top of that, the other thing that you should be interested to aware to go into our ACCA program for you Accelerate students. Now, remember guys, there are 2 things that is very important for you. Number 1, when do you and when can you start enrolling? The following information, before I tell you all the details, the following information is applied for the face-to-face classes. Oh, Mr. Chan, face-to-face, no joke, man. At this point of time, cannot be face-to-face. We know. I'm telling you, assuming there's no COVID, assuming, okay, we have classes that you have to come to Glen Mary campus and attend. We call face-to-face classes. But of course, now, thanks to COVID and also thanks to technology, in the second half of this year, from July to December, next year, we don't know yet, okay? But second half of this year, all face-to-face classes are converted into live online classes. Live online means there's a timetable that you must follow, and then when you come to this date, there will be a link sent to you before that by the lecturer. You have to go into the link and attend the live class that what you guys are doing now. For this kind of live online classes, the upcoming intake is July. Okay, July. And in order for you to get some benefit like discount, remember guys, enroll with us by 23rd June. Enroll with us by 23rd June. That is to enroll yourself to study the courses already. Okay, but of course you say, Mr. Chan, no, my year 3 only started by the second half of the year. Then you can think about joining our next year January intake, where the deadline for the early bird discount will end on 23rd December. If you can enroll between or before these dates for the 2 intake, this is a special discount only for you who are under Accelerate scheme. If you go for these 2 papers, now it doesn't mean you must do concurrently. You can do 1 paper at 1 semester, which is 5 months. For your information, there are 4 exams for the ACCA in every year: March, June, September, December exam. Our course is designed for 5 months duration. You start in January, your course will end in May. You will go for the exam in June. Okay, result will come out in July. If pass, good luck. If you didn't pass, you have the receipt. You can consider receipt in September or December, up to you. But if you start your class in July, your class will end in November to prepare for the exam in December. Understand? So you can split these 2 subjects in 2 different cycles. As long as you are under this Accelerate scheme student, no matter when, next semester or next year, as long as you come back and study with us, you will get 30% discounted on the tuition fee. Tuition fee. on these subjects. For the last two options paper, you will get 20% discount off the tuition fee. Guys, this discount is the highest comparing to students who come to us from other university. The maximum discount they get from other university is 15, up to 20% maximum. But you guys are getting a bit more than that. That is the privilege of you being an Accelerate student from UOW Malaysia KDU. But as I say, this discount scheme only apply for live online classes, okay? We understand some of the students say, Mr. Chan, I don't want to go for the live online for certain reasons because I may not want to tie back to the timetable. No problem. We have two arrangements for you. Number one, you can still sign up for the live online class, okay? But Mr. Chan, I couldn't attend all these classes most of the time because of other engagement. What should I do? For your information, all our lectures are video recorded. So when after the class, the lecturers will share the video in our platform called Schoology. Students who attend the live class, students who are absent from the live class, no worry, you are allowed to access to the video on the platform. You can watch the video as many times as you can until the exam. No limit, but until the exam only. Okay, so even you want to go for these live online classes, just that you couldn't follow the timetable, no worry, you can still sign up. You can still watch out the video later on at your conveniences. That is the beauty of live class. The other program that we have, and take note, the other program is that you don't have to follow this intake already. You can enroll anytime you want, but you don't get this discount anymore. Normal fees apply. What is that? It is called a pre-recorded online courses. The lecturers will take the video for the lecture in the last semester, bundle it, and then you can subscribe to that pre-recorded video. So no need to follow timetable. You can watch the video as and when you like. But of course, even though it is from last semester video, the content is still relevant and applicable for the upcoming exam. So you can go for that. There is no live class, but of course in between, if you have watched the video, you have questions, you can still email, you can still WhatsApp the lecturer. Because we will provide you the contact detail, you can still contact the lecturer. And there will be some guideline, like there will be a study plan for you to follow, by which week, which are the video you also watch. And they also will have some tests and mock exam for you to try. Same goes for our live online classes. So remember guys, this deal is only for live online class. The pre-recorded online class is on the normal fees, remember. This is what I mentioned just now, okay? Assuming you decide to complete your ACCA for the last 4 papers over the periods of 1 year, starting from July, that is the first semester. Second semester is January next year, okay? So this is just a rough ideas for you. As being a UOW Malaysia KDU student, you should be quite familiar with all these fees. But generally speaking, the fees at the top is to pay to the institution. The fees at the bottom, you see the bottom half, is to pay to UK. It summarizes everything I mentioned just now. You guys can take a snapshot, no problem, okay? And of course, the moment you complete your degree already, and you would like to immediately continue to this ACCA study, the caution fees is still not applicable because you still have the caution fees with the school, right? No need, unless you tell me you finish a degree, you want to chop it off, you want to get your refund, but later you want to join back, then you have to pay back. Other than that, resource fees, lab fees, all this will be paid on semester. You will ask, Mr. Chan, what's the meaning of lab fee? Do we have to do some kind of experiment in the lab? No. This lab fee represents the fees that you paid for attending different set of soft skill program that we call employability enhancements program. So there will be a series of soft skill program that you will attend 1 program per semester. So every semester you will assign for a soft skill classes for this. What kind of classes is that? We have business simulation, we have advanced level of the Microsoft Excel, advanced level for workplace purposes, etc. So this is the one you're paying for to attend this kind of EEP, Employability Enhancements Program. And of course, all the tuition fee, as we mentioned, is subject to the discount I mentioned just now. So this is the net fee you are paying for, including the material fee. So all in over the 1 year semester, you guys are paying less than 10K to UW Malaysia KDU for these ACCA subjects. And in this 1 year time, the amount of fees you pay to UK convert into Ringgit Malaysia, it's about 6,006. You add this together, you add this total together, the amount is about 15,407 Ringgit. That is the total investment you put in for 1 year to complete your ACCA study if you manage to pass. If you didn't pass, you just got to retake the exam until you clear. That's it. Do you understand? So that is the fees that apply to you. Of course, you don't have to pay one shot. You will pay by semester. Okay? You will pay the first column for the next 6 months. You will pay the next column fee for another 6 months. Remember. Okay. In case those of you who finished the study already and you would like to enroll for our courses on the part-time basis, what's the difference between full-time and part-time? The main difference is the schedule of the classes. If the class is under full-time, you have a live lessons, right, on the timetable. Your timing is weekdays daytime. Occasionally, there will be some weekend classes. Whereas for part-time classes subject, the classes, if they fall on weekdays, it will be at night, 6:30 to 9:30. And most of the classes will fall on weekend, which is full day. So that is a difference. And not only that, some of the fees that you see here are not applicable to you, like the resource fees, the lab fees is not applied because you are now working adult. We don't provide those kinds of soft skills program to you anymore. So you can see the total fees you pay for the institution is a bit cheaper, but it's still the same for the external fees to UK. So all in, you pay about less than 13,000. That is about 2,000 ringgit of saving if you do the ACCA program after you graduate on a part-time basis. There's the last choice of the study mode for you, which I would like to share with you in a short while. So this is where you go for the live online classes, either full-time or part-time. Okay, to let you know, most of the last 4 paper subjects, they are mostly part-time. That means the live classes is either on the weekdays night or the weekend, remember. Okay, this is the third choices of study mode I mentioned just now to you. We call ACCA online course. Guys, you can just go to this website later on, take down a snapshot over here, go to this website, accakdu.edu.my, which I already have got this link for you now. You can see my screen over here quickly. Okay, so this is the one that I'm showing to you. So your landing page will look like this. There's a landing page. Okay, this is a landing page. You want to learn more about the online courses, you just go to this. You just go to this box and click. I'm showing to you, my computer is running a little slow, so not to worry on that. So you will go into this page for the ACCA online course that we have. There will be a short video shown to you here. I will stop playing here because the video will disrupt my voice over here. Okay, so you can just watch the video, and then underneath it shows you all the detail of the course structure. For the learning course, it is to cover the full syllabus. For the revision course, it is the intensive course for the last few days before the exam. You can go for both the courses called full cost. Okay, this is very true, especially for those of you who are working, whether you're in Glen Marie campus or Penang campus, all can take into this. Okay, and then you can see that all our online courses is offered for each of every exam sitting. You can see the sitting number on the top. Okay, and this is the fees that you're looking for. The discount I mentioned is not applicable for this. So this is the net fee you're paying already. Understand? And then you want to know the feature of all these online courses over here. Everything is stated clearly in this landing page. You can take a look. Okay, all the benefits you get are all stated here at one shot. Notes you see here. Okay, here, one shot. So what are the benefits you get, etc. You take a look at it yourself. And then We do have some sample video and also some introduction slide about what's a unique feature of this particular subject. I'm sure that you must be interested on your strategic professional paper. So you click on this. Okay, you see all these subjects are shown here. You can see some of our sample lecture videos. So this is me. This is me. You can see my sample video on AFM, APM. This is how we teach. You can take a look and before you decide which of the program that you would like to go into. Okay, so that is how you get the information on the online courses by us. Okay, this is what we have here on the online course, and this page is something you can find in the landing page just now. I don't have to read for you in detail. You can read it on your own, but this is the content for what you get in the online classes. And this is also the fee, as I mentioned to you, you can get it in the website just now, so all yours, okay? All right, so that will be mostly the information I would like to share with you this afternoon, okay? So do you have any questions for me right now? Do you have any questions for me before we end the sessions and before I answer your questions over here? This is the website address that I showed to you just now, okay? Keep an eye on this website address over here and go in there, take a look at all the information I mentioned. At the same time, if you want to stay in touch with us, this is our office email address. This is our WhatsApp number. At this moment, don't call our fixed line, okay? Because nobody is in offices. It's all by this WhatsApp number, okay? And do come and visit us on our social media platform at this address. You will get a lot of latest update from us. Okay, great. So that is all about my sharing so far. Do you have questions for me? I would be more than happy to take on your questions. You can turn on your mic and talk to me if you wished, or you can type out your questions in the chat box. I will be able to answer you now. Let me turn on to the chat box right now. Okay, so I have one question here. The discount will last until we finish the subject. You mean the 30% and 20% discount, right? Arif? If you're referring to the 30% and 20% discount, there is no expiry date. As long as you come back to us a year later or 2 years later, you will still entitled for that 30% and 20% discount, okay? But you only use it for one time. This means that you enroll the SPL classes with us for the first time, you get 30% discount, right? Let's say after one round, you go for the exam, you fail, but you decide to re-attend again, you will pay the by right, you will pay the full fees by right, okay? But if you read our conditions carefully, which I will explain to everyone when you enroll, there is a chance that you don't have to repay anything. You can re-attend the classes for free. That is 100% free. Or if you pay half the fee only. So what is the criteria to entitle for the free re-attempt? We will look at your progress test marks, because even though you're going for the final exam, along the journey of the semester, we will have progress tests. We want to make sure you are not the one who do last minute work. So if you score 30 marks at least on the progress test, plus the mock exam, you get 40 marks, then you will entitle for this so-called free re-attempt. Together with one more condition, that is your attendance, especially during the live class. You need to achieve at least 80% of the attendance. Then you are genuine, you have tried your best, just that you didn't get through, we will get you in to attend the classes free of charge. Okay, is my line still breaking now, guys? Okay, another question is for the professional paper, we have to finish it within 7 years. Connie, yes, you are right. The professional paper, when is the 7 years start counting? The 7 years start counting when you pass the first professional paper. Connie? Okay, when you first pass your first professional paper, the 7 years counted. Yeah, Connie? Okay, Arif, thank you. And now we have Asha. So far, we have registered for the scheme in year 3. Can we join the class after finishing our degree, Asha? You can, if you're already in the scheme, you can refer to the intake window that we mentioned just now, remember or not? you can choose to come in for July intake, yeah. If you want to start quickly somewhere in this year, yes, you can. But then remember, before you settle down your course fees and etc., you need to initial register yourself. But you say after register for the scheme, Asha, I'm not too sure when you say register for the scheme, are you referring to you already got the Accelerate letter from the program leader? If you already have that, remember what I said just now? The second step is for you to initial register yourself through the website of ACCA. You need to do that step. So what you do, you scan that letter and email to us. We will show you the step how to do the initial registration. Remember, Asha? Okay. Then we have another one, CJO, INT. Let's say there will be face-to-face class in the future for the ACCA paper. Does it mean Penang students need to go to Glen Marie campus for classes? Okay, so that's a good question. Yeah. In the future, if face-to-face classes is made possible, students from outstation, you have two choices. Okay, you have two choices. Choice number one, you will stay in the campus. There's a hostel in Glen Marie campus. Because to me, I think it is just like going overseas, right? After all, you only take about 1 year or 1.5 years to complete your ACCA. Give yourself a chance to come out from Penang, stay in our campus in Glen Marie, attend the face-to-face classes, okay? But if you prefer to stay back in Penang, no problem, yeah? Because all our classes, as I mentioned, all recorded. You can watch the video after the lecture, not the live, it's after the lecture. But of course, if you ask me personally, I would like to go and experience a different environment for just about 1 year. Not too long, I suppose. Okay. I have, okay, thank you very much. I have, wait, I see. Okay, so this is the questions from CJO. Now we have Tami. Tami, your questions is, let me go back to your questions again. Okay, to Mr. Chan, to confirm, all the live session teaching, lecture teaching material will be the same for all the students regardless they're coming from Penang? Yes, exactly. All the students from everywhere, whether Penang campus, Glen Marie campus, or from other university, if let's say all of you are taking SPL, all of you will be in the same class and taught by the same lecturer. You will be getting the same teaching material. You will be taught in the same way, remember. Okay, Tami? All right, then we have Xin Yan. Mr. Chan, may I know about whether the live sessions will be recorded for the ACCA scheme? Yes, as I mentioned, all live class will be recorded, video recorded. You have unlimited time of viewing after the class until the exam. Yes, Xin Yan, not to worry. Okay. Izzat, Muhammad Izzat, currently you are in the third year, second SEM in UBAC. If I decide to register for this SEM, when can I take the ACCA paper? Very good, Izzat. You can take your ACCA paper now if you like, even you are in the second SEM, okay? As I mentioned just now, the one which is good for you to consider is SPL. And usually our advice for the students is, I'm sure whether in Glen Marie or Penang, you will have a semester for your internship, am I right? The best window is that when you're going for your internship, take one subject during your internship window. Of course, your internship probably is only lasting for 1 SEM, but your ACCA subject lasts for about 5 months. So during the 3 months of your internship, you will have a bit of free time, especially during the weekend. That is the best time for you to catch up to do one paper like SPL. And then when you come back to your school for finishing the last SEM of the subject, or maybe final year project, I'm not too sure which one do you have in your final SEM, you're already left with about 2 months time for the SPL paper to go on. So it is definitely doable, especially if you consider start taking one subject during your internship period. Yeah, Isa? That's a very good. Yeah, everyone is asking me a lot of questions already. That's good to hear and good to see that. Okay. So currently 2 semester internship, very good. 2 semester internship, even more fantastic. This means that you should have more than enough time to complete a 5-month study cycle, right? For SPL to go for the exam. Excellent. So at least you will experience like how a part-time student's life is going to be about. Okay. All right, then we have Mansing. Since we are allowed to register ACCA Accelerate Scheme in the first SEM of year 3, which we have not finished our degree, how do we know if we are exempted for the 9 fundamental paper? As I mentioned just now, Mansing, the moment you registered under the scheme of Accelerate, in the first sem of year 3, of course, you still have a few more subjects to finish in year 3, right? The ACCA is giving you conditional exemption, temporary. So that means since the temporary exemption is given, you can start taking the strategic professional paper like SPL already, Mansing. Okay, and on the assumption you don't need to take any of the 9 subjects, on the assumption you are going to finish the degree. Okay, so until you finish the year 3, 2 conditions or 2 scenarios. Yeah, scenario number 1, you successfully complete a degree, and you will still have to submit your transcript to ACCA UK as approved. That is when ACCA UK will then officially recognize the 9 exemptions for you, and your study plan is still continue as planned, right? In case you couldn't finish a degree, but usually when students couldn't finish the degree means that they fail maybe 1 or 2 paper, you will have to resit the paper, right? When you resit, most likely you will resit until you pass. I don't see any students will like to just stop halfway from the degree because you virtually get nothing. In case if that happened to you, Mansing, the ACCA will pull back the 9 conditional exemption. This means that you have to start taking the first paper itself if you didn't complete your degree, Mansing. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. There's a good session. Is there any more questions for me, guys? Okay, we have Sanjita. I'm a diploma flow-through student to degree on this year, January. So I suppose that when you go into the degree now, you're in the 2nd year already because you should get 1st year exemption. Can I take the exam this year or next year for the strategic professional paper? Not yet. Too early. Okay, so you need to, as I mentioned just now, the best time for you to go and take part into this Accelerate scheme is when you are in the 3rd year. Okay, you are in the 3rd year program itself. But of course, Sanjita, because you're the diploma flow through, can I ask, is your diploma also from UW Malaysia KDU? Is it also from UW Malaysia KDU? Because yes, okay, very good. Because there is a bit of the complication for diploma flow 2 students. The reason is being when the Accelerate scheme is granted to the student, that is under the assumption the student must start the degree from the 1st year. Because the 9 exemption is only awarded to the degree. But for yourself, you are getting exemption in the degree with the diploma. So this means, Sanjita, you already have 1 exemption under the degree. So now it's the matter of whether ACCA will recognize your diploma subject as the equivalency to the 1st year degree. That is something that we will need to advise you further detail. So what I would suggest you, Sanjita, is that probably after this conversation, you can send your transcript to us, the diploma, and then let us know which is the bachelor degree you're currently doing to us. We will find out more detail and we will advise you completely what is the situations for yourself, yeah, Sanjita? Up to you. You can write to us now. You can write to us maybe in your 3rd year. Up to you. No problem. Okay. Thank you very much, Sanjita. All right, we have Chai Mei. Chai Mei, may I know how much is the original total cost for taking ACCA without discount? When you say original total cost, are you referring to the 13 subject? Chai Mei, for students who didn't go for any degree, they will just join into the ACCA at the first subject itself. If the answer is yes, you're talking about the total cost to do the first ACCA subject until the end. The full timing for you to complete the ACCA of the 13 subject is about 2.5 years. Okay, shortest is 2 years, but usually 2.5 to 3 years is the average time range. And the total cost is about 40,000 to 45,000 ringgit. 40 to 45,000 ringgit. Okay, so that is how we go. But of course, there's always a pro and cons by going into the ACCA straight. Yeah, and you will tend to get some additional benefits if you go through the degree like what you're doing now. Basically, you will tend to enjoy more of the activity. So it all depends what you want. Okay. All right, thank you very much for Chai Mei. Yes, and then we have another one, Wan Chi. Wan Chi, okay. I just completed my internship last month, though I still eligible for the discount for exemption. Wan Chi, okay, you have already completed your internship last month, so I suppose that have you got your Accelerate eligibility letter from program leader? If you have that letter or you haven't got the letter, you can ask. As long as you have the letter and send to us in PAC, and then you will register yourself to ACCA using that letter. Because if you see the sample letter just now, they do have a code, and you need to insert the code when you're registered with ACCA UK. The moment you secure your registration with the code, you're eligible for all the benefit that we mentioned just now. Whether to ACCA UK, the discount we get to you is all applicable as long as you have the exemption letter from the program leader, Wan Chi. Okay, so you have to send a letter, you have to scan it and email to us, Wan Chi, then we will tell you what to do. The answer is yes, you will still entitled for the discount. Okay. All right. So that is the questions for Wan Chi, and welcome Sanjita, yeah, Chai Mei done. So now we have Kendrick. Kendrick, yeah. If my third year SEM 1 only start in September intake and the ACCA course only have 2 intake, it is then it is suggested to start on next year January intake. Kendrick, I mean, to be fair to you, we will usually suggest the students to start doing the ACCA subject when you started your year 3. Since you only start your year 3 in September, the earliest timing for you to take on the ACCA courses, I would say, is January intake. You're all right, Kendrick. Okay. Of course, if you say, can I start joining in July? Can, provided you are really prepared for that. Okay, can. The answer is can, but my suggestion is that you may want to just wait until January next year when you already start off a year 3 subject, so that you have heard from the lecturer in year 3 the level of expectation in year 3, the kind of changes in the habit of the study, so that when you go into the professional level of the study in ACCA, at least your gap is not so far away. Kendrick, yeah. Okay, that is very, very good, yeah. Response on the chat box over here, every one of you. So do we have any more questions? Yeah. Jonathan, yes. I'm a year 3 student going into the 3rd semester. If the Accelerate program start in July and my next SEM is mostly in the morning, with the class schedule for these clashes. Okay, I couldn't promise that whether there will be any clashes with your current classes itself. But as I say, not to worry, okay? Of course, the best is no clashes, yeah? If there is a clash, don't worry. Let's say on that particular session you have a clash, you go for your classes and degree, because all our lecture are video recorded. And I'm quite sure, I can guarantee you, Jonathan, it will not be 100% clash, because some of our classes may fall on weekend, and you don't have weekend classes in degree, right? And moreover, which are the day you have the classes, it depends on what subject you're taking in every semester. So be prepared. They may have classes that is clashing between the classes in ACCA and the classes in degree, but not to worry. Go for your degree classes, because all our classes are video recorded. You can always catch back when you have a free time. Not to worry, Jonathan. So the answer for you is that you can still go for the classes for Accelerate Scheme already, and you already know the solution if there is a clash in the classes. Not to worry. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Jonathan, if you have questions for me further, you can ask me now. Any more questions from the floor? Very good. A very good response for every one of you who are taking part in these sessions over here. Very, very responsive. Well done to you. Okay. Do we have any more questions? Last round to go. Any more questions? Anyone want to turn on the mic and talk to me, or you prefer to type out in the chat box? That's fine. Okay, everyone is fine. All right. So do I have any more questions? Okay, if I have no more questions from the floor, I think that is the end of the sessions for this morning and afternoon, I suppose, and I hope it will be a very fruitful sessions for every one of you this morning. Yes, I heard. Yes. Tami, yep.
Mr. Chan?
Okay.
Yeah, there are some questions. Can you please scroll down?
Tami, okay. If there's a clash in our uni exam and the ACCA exam, this one I cannot do anything, okay? But as you know, the ACCA exam is always held in the first full week of March, first full week of June, September, and December, okay? Before you choose a subject for ACCA to take, I'm sure you already should know your exam timetable in the uni. Plan ahead, okay? Don't start, then only you notice later, oh, there is a clash in the exam. That is something we can't do much because the exam is scheduled on the day by the UK and is worldwide, remember, okay? So remember, Tami, you have to plan very carefully in choosing the subject on ACCA together with the exam of your uni, remember. KT, is it possible your exam will clash? Yes, as I mentioned just now. So please choose the subject carefully and also matching with the exam timetable. But bearing in mind, the exam date of ACCA, as I mentioned, is the first full week of March, June, September, December. Okay. Then we have Ishan. When we are taking ACCA, can we skip a semester and continue? Yes, of course. You can skip one semester and come back after one semester or after 1 year, no problem. It doesn't mean that you must continuously finishing the whole study. So, but let me just remind you, breaking in the semester for the ACCA study is a last choice, because the moment you break one semester, number one, your momentum is breaking. Number two, some of the knowledge may be forgotten. And you come to professional level, the continuity of the knowledge is very, very crucial. So given a choice, don't break if possible, unless there is no choice. Remember, Ishan, okay? Then we have Yan Xuan. Currently, the ACCA exam will be online or face-to-face. That is a very good question, okay? From this June onwards, okay, this coming exam in June, which is about two more weeks to go, the ACCA exam is all computer based already. That means that you will take your exam in the computer lab, okay? And at this moment in Malaysia, the default mode of computer based exam, all the students have to go to the exam center. Okay, let's say for example, those of you who are in Glenmary campus, you go to 4th floor, 3A floor, our exam center is in the lab. So everyone will sit in front of the computers and do the exam in the computer center. But in certain part of the country, including Malaysia, when it is not permitted and not safe for you to go to the exam center, the ACCA allow you to take the exam at home. But it is like this. It will come with the camera turning on and someone will monitor you. You will answer your question in your own laptop. This is called remote invigilation for ACCA exam. But your exam session is still on the same day where the subject is assigned. So there are two modes of exam. But no matter which mode, all exams are computer-based, remember. Okay, Yan Chuan? Tami, yes, Mr. Chan, for example, if after we have attended SPL classes in July intake, but due to some reason we couldn't take exam in December, can we still take exam on next batch, March, without any consequences? Very good, Tami. This is the answer. Most ACCA papers in the professional level, the last four I mentioned, except taxation, okay, the other three subjects, the syllabus of these subjects will usually update or we call revised in every mid-year, which is in June. So let's say, for example, the upcoming exam is in September, let's say, okay? Upcoming exam is in September. The syllabus for the September exam, December exam, March exam, and June exam, it will base on the new syllabus that apply for September. Okay, so all the syllabus will apply for 4 windows, and the first exam that apply for the new syllabus is on September onwards. So to answer your questions, Tami, you can attend the classes in July. By right, you go for exam in December, but for certain reason, you have to do it in next year, March. Can, because the syllabus is still the same. Let's say fail already in March, you have the receipt in June. Also can, because the syllabus is still the same. Let's say still fail, you need to go for the exam in next year, September. You need to just go to the website of ACCA, take a look at the changes in the syllabus, prepare yourself, be aware what are the changes in the syllabus and get yourself prepared. You can still go for the exam. The change in the syllabus will not be a totally new syllabus coming up. There will be just a very moderate, a very minor change and update on the syllabus. So to answer your question, theoretically can, just that when you cross from June exam to September exam, just keep an eye on the change in the syllabus. As long as it is on other window, no problem. Okay, so thank you very much. Do we have any more questions in the chat box for those of you who are here? Very good response. Very, very good. Okay, do you have any more questions for me? Do you find this kind of sharing of information useful for you? Would you hope to have more of this kind of sessions for you in the future, guys? Okay, very good. All right, very good, very good. So that we can keep up to date regularly to everyone, so that you can at least prepare ahead, yeah, so that you don't waste time, you don't waste too much of money to do a lot of unnecessary and wrong decision. Okay, I suppose that it is something very beneficial for all of you and your parents as well. Okay, very, very good. Yeah. Okay, last round, last final round. Do we have any more questions from the floor? Okay, if no, then we will end the sessions for this afternoon already. So remember, take down our contact details, our email address, our WhatsApp number. You can always look for us in PAC via the email address and also the WhatsApp, and keep contact with us. Okay, we definitely look forward to receive more of your email and telling us, sir, madam, we would like to enroll, become ACCA student. Here is my Accelerate letter. We will be more than happy to send you the list of the step-by-step guide to tell you how to go about to register. Yes, Isa, can I upload my presentation slide just now? Don't worry, I don't need to upload because you can watch back the video. My video will contain all the things in the slides, not to worry, okay? You will hear what I say and also the slides, not to worry, okay? So you have all the video. No worry on that. You can also tell your friends who are not here today, ask them to watch the video because it is really informative for them to do planning right after the degree. Okay, thank you very much. And I hope that these sessions is fruitful and useful for you. Last but not, where can we access the video? Okay, don't worry, because once the video is recorded, we will share with the respective program leader of the school, and the program leader will share with all of you in the respective campus. Not to worry, just wait for the notification from the program leader, not to worry on that. Okay, Arif? Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you all, and stay safe, yeah, stay safe, all of you, and I hope to see you face to face not long in the future. Thank you very much, and good luck to anyone who is going for the exam soon. Okay, thank you, take care. All right, thank you very much. Bye, take care all. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. See you all soon. Okay, thank you all. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.